Okay, so my guest today is Jemah Boogie. I would like to ask you guys to go and check out his profile. He's a Zambian musician, and he's going to tell us about his most recent project. That's the focus. But before we get to talking about his most recent project, we're going to talk about his career as a musician, and I'm going to ask him a few questions. So please bear with us. This will be on my IG live for a little bit after the interview, but it will move to my podcast first and then later to my YouTube channel. So, Jemah Boogie, please tell people who might not know who you are, what you do. I said you're a musician, but you probably do other things too. So tell us, who is
Yeah.
Jemah Boogie?
Okay, so Jemah Boogie, basically, I'm a singer, but my government name would be James Banda. And I'm a singer, I'm a computer scientist, and I'm also a technician in civil engineering.
Mm,
Yeah.
you wear a lot of hats.
Yeah, I do. I do wear a lot of
Okay.
hats. I do.
Okay. So how did you get into music? How did you get into music? Tell us about that. I mean, people can go to my blog and read your bio, but it sounds better when it comes from you.
Yeah, what it is that I got the interest in music like in seventh grade. I used to sing in the shower to myself, and after that, I sort of gained more interest, and my aunties I was living with at that time used to actually scold me for singing grown-up songs like Breathe Again by Tony Braxton
Oh,
and the Boys to Men. Yeah, so it was one of those, but as soon as I left my seventh grade, went into high school, that's eighth grade, then I actually joined a group of guys who used to like singing. To be
okay.
honest, I didn't even know I would be any good at it. But I joined them, and within a month, they were like, "No, you should really come. We like the way you sing." So they sort of encouraged me, and that. But I only started recording after I left college.
Mm-hmm.
After I left college, I went on to my first job, which was in Solwezi. So Solwezi and the Copper Belt are close.
Yeah.
So I had to travel to Kitwe, Blazer Studios, and that's why I recorded my first two songs. Yeah, that was a leap of faith. So yeah, I recorded two songs. At the time, Peterson was actually recording his Bobojan album. So we used to exchange sessions. It's where
Oh,
this big
wow.
artist, yeah. So it's where this big artist is coming out, and you're going there like I'm gonna try and do whatever I can, and the likes of Ephraim will be there whilst I'm recording, and so but after that I had to sort of change sound. So I traveled to Chingola, where there was Danger Zone Studios, where
Yes.
Dandy Crazy used to record. So
Yeah.
yeah, we got chatting. Yeah, we got chatting with Dandy. He was just recording his "I Love You, Mommy" song at the time. So he heard me record, and he was like, "You know what? This is a hassle. I know it's difficult for all of us, but it'd be nice if you just came along." So whenever he had shows, he would just pick me. He would just come, "Hey, Jamaica, I'm sure." So it would be like that. So I'd go with him in Dolo Dam, go around Copper Belt with him. Came to Lusaka, we linked up again, and we just continued touring like that. And for me, like that, I got a perspective of what the music industry is and what the fans want, and it sort of showed me how big the job was that I had to do. Because with
Yes.
Dandy, he had already gone viral, and for him to sort of like, okay, people were willing to see him, but then before he goes on stage, I would like be the opening act, and I would get a number of yay, nice song, and obviously get another number of boo, and but I had to go on, and after that, I gained experience. I kept on recording. I just kept on pushing. I just kept on pushing, and I recorded with K Army when I came to Lusaka. I came direct to K Army. Before K Army, though, I was no, this K Army was after Raising Sounds in Livingston, because I had found another job, so I had to travel to Southern Province, and I was recording with Raising Sounds. And after my project ended that side, I had to come back to Lusaka. Came back to Lusaka. I started recording with K Army, where I'm recording up to now. And yeah, and I also have new projects in the studio right now. A few surprise features, but I'm not gonna say what.
Okay, okay. I won't press you, but I find it very curious that obviously you go to record where it's accessible, where it's convenient. So when you move to another town, you have to find a new studio. I like the Dandy crazy story, you know, how he took you under his wing and you were part of his show. That's really good. And how you talk about how you gained the experience. Not everyone gets so lucky, you know, to be taken under somebody who's already got or like you said, he was going viral. He didn't have to take you with him, you know. He could have said, no, this is my time, you know. So thank you for that perspective. On the story, or the profile, not the story, the profile that we did of you on my blog, if anyone wants to read it, the link is in my bio. You talk about artists that inspired you from Zambia, you know. Could you tell us a little bit more about, you know, the people, the Zambian artists that inspired you to get into music, or the sounds that inspire you?
Okay, so the Zambian artist that actually inspired me, because I grew up listening to Pongozi, because my father and my mother would play that type of music. Pongozi, Pike Chishala, and I'll just name a few other African artists, Bell, you know, Shalamwana, Kofi Olomide. You know, it's one of those where you think you're playing, you're singing, actually starting to hit notes, and you know, it's for me, it's like, this is really what I was meant to do.
Yeah.
Because the way I came on to singing, I really didn't plan that, but I sort of just started getting interest, momentum, and the experience. But mostly, I would dance to Kofi Olomide, the Pongozi, Piket Shala, you know, Wanamusonda, what, you know, those type of songs. So it just showed me to say, okay, following Zambian music so closely, I could actually see how it was changing, and kept on improving. You know, to a point where so there was one time I was recording over in the corporate belt, and this producer comes up to me and tells me, like, you know what, your music is futuristic. You know, your music is futuristic. The sound won't make sense now, but it will make sense someday, because this sound is not for today. This sound is for tomorrow. So that's how come I kept on writing and I kept on recording. You know, it was a very encouraging thing for him to say, to actually tell me to say, okay, because I actually had questions to say, but why is my music not hitting? But you know, it's one of those things when somebody listens to your song and they'll be wondering, like, this is like really good, but you know, there's nothing wrong with it, but you know, what is it? See, that's the same question I had. And since that time, I mean, I've been writing songs. And that's how come I've been driven. Even if I've been quiet for like 4 years, I've been driven to actually just keep on writing. And now I've released Desire Upon Fire, which you can find on iTunes and vessesani.com. You can actually stream or even buy if you like. You can download and show me your support, which I really appreciate. And yeah, so I've got other music. I'm actually in the studio and I'm working with various artists. It's the music keeps getting better. That's all I can say. Otherwise, Lazambiana, thank you for hosting me. Thank you for having me. I've been looking forward to watch our interview on YouTube. You take care. Peace out.